100 Thieves is one of the biggest and most popular organizations in the world of esports. When they entered Valorant in 2020, fans expected that they would win multiple championships. But after over 3 years of play, the taste of an international victory remains elusive. With top players in their arsenal and a bigger budget than most, where did it all go wrong? This is the story of 100 Thieves Valorant. On the 4th of June 2020, 100T ventured into VALORANT Esports, much to the delight of their growing fanbase. But they didn't just step into the scene, they made a grand arrival by signing Hiko, an FPS veteran who had just stepped down from the CSGO scene.
I am looking forward to proving to you that I belong here.
Taking on the mantle of team captain, Hiko is now the figurehead of 100T's dream to win multiple championships in Valorant. By the 24th of June, the full roster took shape. They brought in your boy Dre, Pride, Valiate, and Venerated, all established stars in the PUBG scene, as was common in the early days of Valorant. Expectations were towering, and the weight of hope was felt by each player. But the weight of reality began to weigh itself, and on the 6th of August, they tasted a bitter defeat at the FaZe Clan Invitational Tournament, failing to win a single match in the group stage, leading to many to question whether this roster had what it takes to rise to the top. The ramifications were swift. By the 14th of August, a tough call was made, and the roster was slashed, retaining only Hiko.
Unfortunately, things didn't really work out. So, 100 Thieves decided to give me a little bit more say in who I would pick to play with. My first thought was immediately Nitro.
Nitro was brought in, Hiko's teammate from their CSGO days at Team Liquid, renewing their sense of purpose. And when they added Steel, another force from CSGO, it was clear that 100T were on a mission. By October, with Dicey coming in and 17-year-old prodigy Asna, the team was looking formidable once again. From the ashes of their previous failures, 100T bounced back to qualify for the first Strike main event. And they didn't just participate, they dominated. At a time where LAN events are a big challenge, First Strike, albeit online, stood as the first big tournament of competitive Valorant.
This is the main event, this is the first major, if you will, and this is like the most prestigious event that's been in Valorant so far.
If you're able to win this tournament, if you're able to actually put a good performance, people have to stop doubting us.
Hiko at the helm, the mainstay, that point of consistency, but the young guns behind him who can definitely make some magic of their own.
Steel sneaks through. They don't see Steel coming through the backside. He finds a second kill. The headshots from Steel are so damaging. There's still a 3 versus 2 here for T1, looking good. Dicey and Hiko, though, get all of them down.
An amazing comeback by 100 Thieves.
After taking down T1 in the quarterfinals, up next were Sentinels, in a match that would kickstart their rivalry for the next few years.
Slow, methodical, the darts coming out, the utility, but now it could be a possibility with the spike planted and Sentinels trying to regain composure in the site. It's gonna be 100 Thieves taking the series and meeting TSM in the First Strike Grand Finals.
I'm still in awe of the amount of improvement that they have made over being together for such a short time.
From hundreds of teams down to just 2, TSM and 100 Thieves look to cement themselves and be the first to do it in Valorant history.
They have to find a way out of this situation, but it's getting worse and worse, and who better than Hiko to look to seal the deal here in this grand finals as Colors tries. He does all that he can, but it's simply not enough against 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves, they've done it. They are your First Strike North America champions.
Against all the odds, 100T emerged victorious to win First Strike.
We've been putting in so many hours, so much hard work. It just feels so good to be the grand champions.
And with Riot Games ushering in the new year with the announcement of the VCT, the Valorant Champions Tour, it was clear the stakes had risen yet further. But 100T were determined to stay on top, so they made their move on January 21st, 2021, bringing aboard Coach Frost to their strategic arsenal. Unfortunately, the beginning of 2021 was fraught with turbulence.
They have won a tournament, but they don't really feel like a tournament-winning team, at least in 2021.
This led the team to make the crucial decision to part ways with Dicey. With the introduction of Ethan, another CSGO legend, for the 3rd VCT stage.
I think Dicey was maybe the wrong fit for 100 Thieves, and 100 Thieves might have been the wrong fit for Dicey.
There's going to be clearly a mental hurdle to overcome for this squad as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first day of the very first NA Masters.
A storm was brewing in the quarterfinals against Immortals. What should have been a straightforward battle for 100T turned into a dispute that transcended the match.
A series of back and forths just last night between Riot Games and 100 Thieves VALORANT, leading to a coach probation, a $5,000 fine.
100T were fined $5,000 by Riot Games for causing an hour's delay to the broadcast. As Frost was placed on competitive probation due to unprofessional behavior, 100T chose to publicly address the issue, not to apologize, but to justify the situation, sharing a video showcasing their side of the story and emphasizing the importance of competitive integrity. However, amidst this controversy, the team's mettle shone through as they overcame Immortals, but the path ahead was still rocky. Their next match was against Sentinels, seeking revenge from First Strike, and Sentinels got the last laugh this time.
Steel, what magic do you have in your hat? It's not gonna be enough. A flawless round, a statement made. Sentinels 2-0 100 Thieves.
A subsequent loss to Gen.G was the final nail in the coffin for their Masters 1 campaign. A top 6 finish was disappointing, and rumours began to swirl. Would 100 Thieves shuffle the deck? Tens was a name echoed as a potential acquisition, but financial constraints were rumoured to have made this move unattainable.
Tens could have been on 100 Thieves a while back, but his buyout from C9 was the most egregious thing that I've ever came across in esports history. So
100T soldiered on, with or without new faces, with the goal of making it to Masters Berlin.
Up the back end of that, for now, Nitro undetected, but the Seekers surely give away the position. Nitro goes huge, he picks up 3 to equal the odds. Very healthy in a 1v2 situation to try and hang on to get us to OT. To secure the spot in Berlin, they just can't do it. With a 2-0 victory, 100 Thieves, how's your German? Because you're headed to Berlin.
100 Thieves, my God, it was an incredible comeback.
It felt like watching First Strike 100 Thieves again.
They powered through LG and Xset, clinching their spot for Masters Berlin. But history briefly repeated itself with 2 more losses to familiar foe Sentinels, making their rivalry yet the stronger.
15 teams from all over the globe have touched down in Berlin to battle to be crowned the best in the world.
As Masters Berlin arrived, 100T found themselves faced with the behemoths of European Valorant, Gambit, the Russian powerhouse. But a defining moment awaited them. Trailing 11-3 on Map 2's Icebox, the odds seemed against them to claw their way back.
Yes, they've won the last couple of rounds. They've won 3 actually, which is an excellent bit. Dog, they're still staring up Mount Everest. The site, get the spike down, and now you've got the remaining members of Gambit who are going to rotate in from middle, right into Nitro's lab. Nitro gets 2, yeah, Chronicle trades it out, but that's all he's going to do as Ethan takes care of him. 100 Thieves get to 8. Riv, we talked about it. Shifting.
Shots are turning. Shots are getting snappier. You can see it from both sides here.
They were dead, right? 100 Thieves were underwater. Absolutely. And they pull themselves out of this insane deficit that they were in. Insane deficit that they were in. We talked about them staring up Mount Everest. They've hiked that bad boy. They're this close to reaching the summit, but it's not done yet. Live burst not be able to spade space. Shadoff's good for 1. Hiko trades 1 out. Oh, just narrowly not able to get the second. He doesn't pitch again. He's able to get a second one. Hiko, 24 health, running for the fences as Chronicle has plenty of health. Chronicle on the tap. He's got to get
Pros don't fake.
He's got to get it to Hatfield. Hiko swings out. He gets 4. He gets the Red Bull clutch. 100 Thieves were down, but they steal the round away from Gambit.
But in a jaw-dropping turn of events, 100T rallied to clinch victory, marking one of the most iconic comebacks in VCT history. This momentum continued over to the playoffs where they took down Ascends, the eventual world champions.
Trying to close a flawless round to win it on, and against the odds, against the round score, against every aspect of this game, 100 Thieves just rose to the occasion.
But Envy proved 1 hurdle too high, despite beating them in their last 2 meetings. Nonetheless, a 3rd place finish was undoubtedly more than many fans expected, judging by how the start of 21 had played out.
We had a really good experience, beat some good teams, lost to a good team, and I think we'll all learn from it.
Hope was in the air. The pinnacle was approaching. VCT champions. And 100 Thieves seemed primed to win the North American Last Chance qualifier. But September the 25th brought news that left the Valorant community in disbelief. Steel, the team's in-game leader and captain, was benched in favor of the team's analyst, Boy.
I love Josh. I think Steel's an incredible player, and the team just needed something different.
I have to say I like Steel personally. I don't really have any problems with them personally. It just, things don't work out sometimes.
Whispers began to emerge about internal rifts, and it was said that Steel and Coach Frost's relationship had quickly turned sour. As many expected, the team failed to qualify from the LCQ, with a loss against Cloud9 in the losers final. 100T's journey in 2021, a tale of missed opportunities. With the roster boasting talent such as Asuna, Nitro and Ethan, expectations were sky high, but internal conflicts and unexpected decisions led to their implosion at the worst possible time. Fans, till today, wonder about the untapped potential of this team, especially with Steel at the helm. In the wake of Coach Frost and Nitro's exit, 100T found themselves at a crossroads, faced with the daunting task of rebuilding a faltering squad. The team rushed into a solution, acquiring Eccles and Baby J as new additions to the roster. But this hope proved fleeting, and they were gone just as quickly as they arrived. Just 2 losses in Stage 1 was all it took for the axe to fall on the fresh signings, and Baby J did not hide his frustrations after his dismissal.
I got backdoored for sure.
At the end of the day, you got to make progress. You need to evolve. You need to put the health of the team first.
Now, 100 Thieves look like an org that just make rash decisions off the back of results. If you're a prospective player and you're looking at 100 Thieves, I'm thinking, do I really want to commit to this team?
CEO Nadeshot was determined to push forward. On March the 22nd, the team unveiled a trio of new additions to the coaching panel. Casters Sean Gares and DDK as head coach and general manager respectively, and Mike's HD, each bringing their own wealth of insights to the table. But fate had yet more twists in store. Ethan, one of the team's most pivotal players and future world champion with Evil Geniuses, expressed his desire to leave the team as he was not happy with the trajectory of the roster.
I chose to not play, so they got rid of me. That makes sense.
And in a move that struck at the very heart of the team's legacy, Hiko, a loyal member of the organization, announced his retirement from competitive play. With the foundations of the team shaken, the future of 100T seemed very uncertain. Nonetheless, Sean Gares and DDK began their rebuild from scratch, acquiring Will, Stella, Derek and Bang, alongside star player Asuna. A well-constructed roster with high upside, but in need of time and moulding to develop. Their mettle was soon to be tested in Stage 2 challenges, where 2 coveted slots for the Masters Copenhagen event awaited the worthy.
A freshly minted 100 Thieves coming into this stage after the rebuild.
Stay in this series to win. It's out still 100 Thieves. They've got the angles fully lined up, the utility in play. It's a desperation play in the end, but not enough. And the comeback is completed. 100 Thieves completing an absurd series of events.
An initial triumph against FaZe Clan ignited the flame of hope, ushering them to the semi-finals. But this glow was fleeting. Xset dropped them down to the losers bracket, and a crushing rematch defeat at the hands of FaZe extinguished their dreams of a Masters spot.
Their season, at least this stage, is over, as they look forward to LCQ.
All eyes shifted to the last chance qualifier, a do or die for the season. Their first challenge was NRG, and after a draining 3-map battle, 100 Thieves emerged victorious, over Ethan, who had decided to leave.
Spike down! Clydesdale's running his way, and it's Will who cleans it up at the end.
But lurking in the wings was an all too familiar adversary.
Bala, this means we get 100 Thieves and FaZe. round
all the
two
way down
of the upper bracket. That's outrageous.
Yeah.
And because of Heaven being controlled, into a 1v1. Bang! No! Flya does it! The rematch goes in favor of FaZe as they steal a set right out of 100 Thieves' hands.
Despite an early lead in map 3, the tide quickly turned, and FaZe's resolve saw them overpower 100 Thieves yet again. Awaiting them in the losers bracket were old foes Sentinels.
The script could not possibly be any better. 100 Thieves, Sentinels, LCQ, map 3. And they're not done yet. Zealous is still healthy. So many targets before him. And Shaz and Dapper to keep it back. And no, they're going to get the defuse. 100 Thieves live to fight another day.
Strangely diminished, however, Sen with their new pickup of Shroud were no match for the rejuvenated Thieves. Riding this wave, Cloud9 too fell, brushed aside in a clean sweep. And then came the moment of reckoning, the rematch against FaZe, where vengeance and redemption intertwined.
As he swings out, a flash in his face, and Baby Bay step back. Turbulent's left alone in this 1v3 with no bullets left. Ult in hand, but that's the only bit of utility he has. It's just not going to happen. There's no way in. Revenge.
100T were merciless, decimating their nemesis and reaching the grand final.
It's down to Nate. The whiff of the shot, the rifle in his hands. It comes down to this. All on the line. All for Istanbul, and the double face will finish it. 100 Thieves are going to Istanbul.
100T reigned supreme again. Their place at the VCT champions in Istanbul had been sealed, completing an awe-inspiring journey from near collapse to continental contention. For an organisation as renowned as 100 Thieves, their journey to champions echoed less of a big-name giant, but more of an underdog story.
They've actually been built with some unknown talent for everybody apart from Asuna, their first global event.
But as their triumphant arrival on land transpired, critics whispered of their inexperience against a crowd, with many forecasting an early exit in the group stages.
So I'm wondering, how are they going to be performing on the big stage? It's a big question mark.
Can Boaster find it? What heroics does he have? A haunt there, and he's been surrounded. Believe the hype. 100 Thieves are here to play.
In a big upset, 100 Thieves defeated Fnatic in a thrilling 2-1 win, sending shockwaves across the arena. But the euphoria was short-lived. DRX were too formidable, halting their march towards the playoffs. With their backs against the wall, a rematch against Fnatic loomed, a ticket to redemption or to despair.
Doesn't look likely. Fnatic still have 2 players holding in the choke point, but still almost getting beamed down, and it is just down to Derek. So unlikely. Horn goes down, sticks it to half, and that is the final blow.
This time, however, Fnatic exacted their revenge, closing the chapter on 100 Thieves' inspiring campaign in 2022. But for 100 Thieves, the journey was as significant as the destination.
I hope we exceeded expectations and more, so thank you everyone.
As they looked ahead, the horizon of 2023 shimmered with promise as the VCT moved to a partnered league, to which 100 Thieves were officially accepted. They marked this occasion with a strategic maneuver, introducing Cryo in place of Will. While Will's improvements had not gone unnoticed, the undeniable prowess of Xset's Cryo promised a brighter future for the team.
Anybody would be silly to not consider Ye to join their team. We just think that Cryo at this moment in time for the rest of the team is probably the best fit.
However, on the 19th of October, a curveball was thrown their way. Mike's HD ascended to the head coach position, replacing Sean Gares, who decided to step down and head towards content creation. This left a daunting question, with 100 Thieves only upgrading one piece of their roster, and without the main spearhead behind their progression, would 100T repeat the story of following huge promise with underwhelming delivery? The Red Bull Homeground Invitational in December in Manchester, UK became a proving ground for 100T's revamped roster, and they did not just prove, they conquered. Gliding effortlessly through the competition, 100T were undefeated, culminating in a dominant 3-0 victory against Cloud9, featuring Ye in the final.
For us, it's like a really good proving ground for next year on VCT, so this is a great experience for us.
As the Partnership League officially got underway, their prowess would be questioned again at the VCT's pre-season lock-in tournament. In the semi-finals, 100T clashed with their old rivals Fnatic.
It's a 2v2. Durka gets it down. He's already got the shot in his hand. Alpha finds Asuna. Bang! Leads it. Oh!
Once again, Fnatic's might overpowered 100 Thieves boys, with Fnatic eventually clinching the title against Loud. Nevertheless, a top 4 finish solidified their presence in NA as one of the best teams in the VCT Americas. The regular season opener was electric, as 100T clashed with their long-standing adversaries, Sentinels.
Sentinels versus 100 Thieves, 2 clouded organizations, lots of fans anticipating this one.
There's no clash, there's no follow-up out from 100 Thieves. Bane's just the first to fall, but he was there by himself. Dev's able to get a second. Tens with another. Derek able to trade it back here. Huge out from Sentinels, and now Pankala is able to cut off the rotations. This seems like a done deal. It's too easy.
The timing.
It's just too easy when it looks like that. Bangala cleans it up. 14-12 in the series in favor of Sentinels.
In a nail-biting series, Sentinels got the job done this time, but 100T confidently bounced back by taking down Evil Geniuses in their following fixture. They had the chance to make it 2 wins from 2 against NA teams as Cloud9 were next up, but 100T added another loss to their tally, and critics began to raise eyebrows. Had this roster already peaked? Just as doubts began swirling, 100T displayed their mettle by dominating both Leviathan and Crew. Expected victories for the standing of their organisation, but when faced with the juggernauts NRG and Loud, they faltered once more. The storm clouds were gathering. With a lackluster 3-4 record, their playoff dreams seemed distant. But their final matches fell against Furia and MIBR, winnable games on paper. After successfully dispatching a Furia, they squared off against MIBR, one of the worst teams in the league.
You find yourself in a position where destiny is still in your hands in a way.
MIBR are really good. They're really talented players, so it's definitely not going to be an easy one for sure.
The implications and the stakes are set right from the beginning here. It's a must-win for 100 Thieves for our final match of the regular split as well.
I think MIBR is a really good team. Right now, they seem to be really hit or miss whenever they're playing, and hopefully when we play against them, they don't hit us.
Chosen spraying tonight, no way! Off of it all, he's the hero in this scenario, and 100 Thieves have been denied!
They toppled 100 Thieves in a match that reverberated throughout the Valorant community and set up Evil Geniuses for eventual championship success. With a 4-5 record, 100T were ousted from the VCT Americas playoffs, courtesy of the unforgiving tiebreak rules. Only the last chance qualifier stood between them and certain collapse. But their first obstacle was none other than Sentinels. The hype surrounding this match was sky high, and the stakes were simple. A loss would mark the end of their tumultuous season.
Two teams that came into Americas with such high expectations. The North American squads whose fans have always expected greatness. For both of them, I think it was a disappointment in the regular season.
Again, lone defender, TP's behind them. No one clearing it. Derek wins the trade out, but he's swarmed. Everyone on his angle. 8 seconds left. It's impossible. It's not probable. And Sentinels are moving forwards.
Despite their valiant attempts, 100 Thieves succumbs to their old rivals, ending their campaign with a whimper.
We said it at the beginning, one of these squads was going to go away. Bitterly disappointed today.
The 2023 season was projected as a step forward for 100T, but year after year the trend seems to continue. A star-studded lineup shows great promise for future championship success, only to peak unexpectedly soon and end the season on a low, disappointing the legion of supporters yet again. But could the future hold hope in store? The recent acquisition of coach Zix, who helped Evil Geniuses emerge triumphant to champions, is promising, but recent decisions in their other esports operations hint at a more restricted financial approach. Stella and Derek have been removed, and if they do keep Cryo, Bang and Asuna as expected, they will need fresh talent and an experienced in-game leader if they intend to return to the top step. 100T still have mountains to climb, but with rivals in North America faltering with their roster building, 2024 may open the door to greatness.
Now all I want to do is win. I want it so bad. Asuna, we need to win a world championship, bro. Let's fucking go.